Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zelda Speedrun's continuing coverage of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament. We have a Swiss Round 1 matchup for you tonight between Rikuplayer and AmazingAmpharos, joined on commentary here tonight by Trails. Trails, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you so much. This is going to be a throwback. These two, they raced each other back in 2017 in the standard tournament of Zelda 2 Randomizer back then. Since then, there's been an update, so it's going to be a little different for these guys. Probably a little bit easier. But these Swiss round flags, let me tell you, I believe that they are probably a little bit tougher than the bracket flags, to be honest with you. As a daily runner, I realize that you usually get thrown into weird scenarios, weird wonky overworld scenarios, or required items being in funky locations, and the whatchamacallit, the like a spell item will be hidden in Palace 5 or something. So it's just it could be an unfortunate situation, and usually is with Swiss, but they can also be pretty easy. Race is counting down. Should be ready to go any minute now.
And they're off to the races.
Yeah, this is a pretty nasty enemy encounter right here. They've got the gorilla throwing boomerangs at him in the desert encounter. There's actually an even worse desert encounter, believe it or not, but those are pretty rough early on with the attack one. And Rikuplayer finds Bagu basically immediately. If that's required, that's kind of a huge deal for Rikuplayer. And a good strat early on is to kill a lot of these small things because they drop keys, sometimes 500-point P bags. So a good strategy is just to try to kill as much stuff early on as possible, because the levels are, it doesn't take much to level up, and it's very important to get, attack 1 or attack 3 or 4 and life 3 or 4 early on, and usually a pretty healthy magic level, so in case you want to cast fairy spell to complete palaces with. But you see AmazingAmpharos just got a hint out of the town of Saria that the cross is in Palace 2, which is great information because now he can just skip that item because it's not required to beat the game. Rikuplayer takes an unfortunate game over, back to start he goes. AmazingAmpharos is going to go turn in that the mirror, and let's see what spell he gets. So he gets the shield spell, which isn't really that bad to get early on. I'm sure he was probably expecting something else, but it's good for survivability early on. You'll notice these guys start with the candle. The enemy set is really small, or vanilla, I should say. So it's gonna these encounters are very simple to get through. I'm not trying to backseat game, but if I were AmazingAmpharos or Riku, I'd be killing a lot of these little bots and these the flying bats, because they could drop 500-point P bags and keys, which is pretty paramount early game. Both these players enter the town of Rauru. Let's see what spell they get. Rikuplayer getting the spell first. And it's the spell, which is pretty awful. It's good news because now palaces aren't open. The raft is probably going to be free for the taking, but there could be a little fetch quest involved. They might have to find the hammer in Hammer Cave and do some shenanigans, but right now palaces are out of logic. So far we see a bridge. The Saria connector is useless because we've seen both sides. That's the other side of Saria. Rikuplayer is entering, and he gets the hint for Helmet Head as well. See, there's a boulder block cave right there. That cave could contain a raft. Every cave that has a boulder in front has an item in it 100% of the time. And dodging these small enemies is kind of I mean, I guess it gets you through the encounter quick. However, if these guys are dropping 500-point P bags, it's 3 minutes in. I'm already at attack 4, and probably have a couple keys under my belt. So it's very advantageous to kill everything early on, because everything drops, good stuff. You can get 1-ups, 500-point P bags. That enemy just dropped 200 experience points, which is pretty big early on. So I believe that killing stuff early on is kind of the play. And you see the other side of Jump Cave. So that's kind of he's probably breathing a sigh of relief right now, because that's not required. Jump Cave is kind of a pain, and it's a 3-screen cave encounter in which it takes a lot of time to get to and from. Their options are beginning to run out. AmazingAmpharos finds Medicine Cave. This is an item cave. It can be kind of dangerous. On the other side, there's 3 large enemies. He's killing a lot of small stuff right now. He'll probably he gets a 1-up doll drop. Those Bagus, the flying skulls, they drop items, and they come consistently. So it's really, see, on the other side, he gets greeted by a red diver throwing axes in. Oof. Takes an axe right to the face. Hopefully he can get through this encounter. If he gets through this screen, he'll probably get attack 3 for sure. But having gotten that extra life, he's going to get a few extra tries. Shouldn't be a problem for him. We see the kidnapped child in Medicine Cave, so that could be pretty big. The child could be, connected to required.
And we've got Rikuplayer exploring some of the palaces here, getting a peek at which ones they are, probably taking notes on that.
Yeah, this is Palace 1 that he entered. Oof, and he gets greeted with a Magu, which is kind of rough. They hit pretty hard. With this particular flag set, keys, every P bag is turned into a key. So as long as he doesn't hit an immediate locked door like he just did, right? There's a locked door here, so he can't progress. The palace is full. And they both enter separate item caves. Rikuplayer is in the P-Bag cave, vanilla, and it's going to have an item at the end. And AmazingAmpharos is in Magic Container Cave. Noted. Also, look, see that enemy down there dropped a key, and he was able to grab it. So he'll probably be able to explore Palace 1 if he finds it. There's only 2 locked doors in there. A lot of people call Magic Container Cave Reset Cave, because in vanilla, a lot of people go in there for the 50-point P-Bag. They don't get it in a reset. I'm a victim to that. I've probably done Magic Container Cave 10,000 times.
And then finding magic and health, but in the opposite caves today.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ooh, and there's a grass tile find on AmazingAmpharos' side. I'm guessing they're gonna find hammer or boots or raft. Here it is. And there's orange.
Well, that's kind of a useful one.
Yeah, and they find raft at the very same time. 100 XP, orange Dara, not bad. So knowing what he knows, and probably grabbing that attack level, you can see AmazingAmpharos killing small enemies. Ooh, never mind. Scratch that. He just jumps over.
Yeah, I gather that that's kind of a place where runners' strategies kind of diverges, is how you prioritize those early levels that you get and what you throw your points at. If you want to explain that to some of us who don't really understand the reasoning behind the different strategies.
Well, it's pretty advantageous to level up your attack and your life. Because at about life 4 or life 5, things begin to hit less harder. And it's really easy to get those early levels, especially with the random drops on.
Yeah, I've noticed that the prevalence of all those point bags makes it a lot easier than in the vanilla game to get those early levels.
Yeah, it makes for survivability. You can easily get through, everything you need to, and you take hits, tank hits, and be all right. And I believe we've seen all the caves, right? We just saw Heart Container Cave. It had a 500-point P bag in it. We saw P bag cave, medicine cave, and magic container cave. So Trophy Cave is the one that's border blocked. At this point, they have nothing else to do but sail east because, well, there's 2 palaces around, right? So they might want to see what palaces are around. We saw Palace 1, and on each continent there's 4 palaces, but North Palace counts as 1. So there's 3 palaces on the west that need to be the gems placed. And you see AmazingAmpharos first to sail east at the 10-minute mark, which has to feel pretty good. Right now they're looking for a magical key or a fairy spell, and obviously the glove, and the required spells. But I thought there was going to be a boot block right there, but now the east rage is on. There's more stuff to get, and Rikuplayer is about to get his heart container, I believe, in the back of... No, it was the child, I'm sorry. The kidnapped child was in the back of Medicine Cave.
So they're looking for the spells from the towns and looking for caves with items about this point, right? Since palaces aren't in logic to access yet without an abundance of keys or with this fairy spell to get through the doors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. And the required spells that they want are fairy. Sometimes you can get away with not getting fairy, but sometimes, usually fairy, and absolutely reflect and thunder is required to beat this game. You can see AmazingAmpharos steps on a forest tile and finds a 500-point P-bag. That's also a really nice early game because you can level up really quickly. There's about 3 or 4 there. It's just free for the taking, just lying around. I believe that there's a 500-point P-bag on a... there's 2 of them on desert tiles. One requires a jump spell. There's 2 on
Riku's got... seeing that Riku's got 222 right now, whereas AA is up to 334, so definitely has some more levels, has picked up more P-bags and killed more stuff at this point, looks like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And his levels would be even more extravagant had he been killing those smaller things early on. You can see he's poking his head on a lot of these tiles. He just caught an unfortunate lava encounter. Thank goodness there's no flying eyeballs or he'd be dead. But you see a 500-point P-bag just sitting there free for the taking. And he's able to get 434 now. This is going to be great when he goes into palaces and fights stuff because he's just going to absolutely obliterate everything. Knowing that there wasn't really much he could do on the western continent. He could have done Death Mountain at that point. He probably has enough keys to have completed Palace 1, but he finds New Kasuto, and he does have the spell. The lady needs 5 magical containers, and he'll be able to get a free spell here. That's the hint is actually on the red middle section. Closer to the door, he missed it for the hint. There's a hint on the wall. But he may or may not be able to cast the spell right now. We'll see when he pauses. He has the ability to have 64 magic points right now. If spell is more than 64 magic points, then he can't raise the spell tower. He has the reflect spell, which is one of the required spells. He's probably breathing a sigh of relief at the moment. Does he have enough to cast the spell? Because there's a free item just to the right of here, if he opens up the spell tower. I'm guessing he doesn't because he's exiting left.
And did not pick up that extra magic container over on the western continent either.
Oh, which is actually kind of a big deal. If that turns out to be the glove, Rikuplayer is going to have a significant advantage. And you see this encounter that Rikuplayer is in. It's got the invisible eyeballs. The cross in Palace 2 will make those invisible eyeballs visible. And AmazingAmpharos finds item number 1 on Maze Island. And it's a P bag. Probably not what he wanted to see, but, you know, if I were him, I'd probably focus on magic, yeah. Try to get that spell down, get that item, could be required. And Rikuplayer should probably be able to cast spell. Oh, it said 87, I believe, at Magic 2, so I don't know. He's gonna at least be able to get the item. We're gonna get more information. If I were him, I would be. I don't know. I don't understand why these guys aren't killing things, but they're playing like avoiding fighting stuff. A Rikuplayer takes a game over or an up and A. He's back to start. He goes. Hey, is that Nightcrawler?
It is Nightcrawler.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Not
Someone
much.
who knows what they're talking about to take my spot here on second mic.
Well, hey, I mean, you've been tracking this whole time, so I figured it's the least I can do. Alright, so they found GP in...
Yeah, GP on Maze Island, and they found one item on Maze Island. It was a 500-point P bag.
Oh, that's a disappointment. But I guess getting that early is better than getting it late, isn't it?
Yeah, he was able to get close to his magic 4, I believe he wants to get, because he found Lucasudo isn't underneath of a forest tile. But he doesn't have enough to cast spell. He missed a magic container on the west that was free for the taking, and Rikuplayer is beelining it to the area where Lucasudo was, and the spell lady only wanted 5 magic containers. So he's a little behind, but he's got what he needs to get the item. So.
Oh yeah, so that could actually be a nice little alleviation of the lead that AmazingAmpharos has, if that's an important item. I'd say Ampharos seems to be in the lead right now, but this could turn it around.
Yeah, he has an information lead. He's been on the east a bit longer, but without that magic container, he's not going to have the boots, which is probably a very serious item to have at this point.
There it is. Yep. Now, getting a 500-point feedback early is nice, but getting the boots early is even better, because that's more time that you're not getting into encounters.
Yeah, and Rikuplayer is it's gonna be a breeze for him to get across. Them both checking the wrong space on the wall for the hint. We still don't know what fire is combined with yet. It's not shield because they've cast it multiple times. But will he be able to? Can he cast spell? He's got 5 containers. It said magic 2. It was 87 magic points. Let's see what magic 3 is hitting for.
It's probably the same. I don't think the spells usually don't change every level, right? So he might have to come back here.
Nah, it said 73. He can cast it.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, these two didn't really find too much on the west. They got the kid. They got information that whatchamacallit, Helmet Head guards the cross.
Yeah, that's not the best thing. So that was a little funny watching Ampharos play with that blue Lizalfos right there. I mean, those are usually worth a pretty good amount of experience, and I figured he was going to attack it, you know, but he was just scared of the bot jumping in to help.
Just kill him, dude. I mean, sometimes they're worth 500 points. I think it's taking more time to try to avoid the fight than just to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that did take a little bit of time, but not terrible.
And he finds a heart container. So Rikuplayer is about to come across a heart container and a 500-point P bag and GP. But his Maze Island experience is probably going to be much quicker because he's got those boots. He can use that to his advantage to just walk around on the water to skip encounters.
Yeah, I mean the rivers are an even better road than the roads are, because in the roads it takes you to a small encounter you can just walk out of, at least with the current flags. But a river or the ocean or something, if an enemy touches you on there, it's just gone, and you don't have to do anything. And you can even use it. Yeah, you can even use it to travel further inland by prompting some enemies to show up, and then you jump back onto the water, despawn them, and go further inland. Like, it's so useful.
Well, in the weekly, the boots were required. I don't know if you remember that, but Palace 5 was boot blocked.
Yeah.
At the very least, it'll help you get from the top of the continent to the bottom or the middle to pick whichever side you choose. Okay, AmazingAmpharos is now exiting Maze Island. See what his next play is going to be. We already know that Riku's going to find a heart container and GP. So right now, AmazingAmpharos is further exploring the eastern continent. We see a couple pass-through caves and a bridge encounter that has no encounter. It's just a walk across a little bridge, and then we see a town.
Yeah, it's always weird to come across those bridges without the bridge encounters.
Yeah, it happens every once in a while. I bet you that other bridge has an encounter on it. They can full clear the east with spells because they have the child. New Kasuto isn't underneath of a forest tile. However, they cannot get upstab at the moment because they don't have jump or fairy. And New Kasuto was the reflect spell on the western continent, and Raru was spell, and then Saria was the shield spell. No indications of what fire is linked to yet.
I kind of hope it's something worthless. I normally like, thunder fire, but let's hope for thunder shield or something. Sorry, fire shield or something.
Nah, they already casted shield, and we already know that that's not it. So
okay. Oh, there's thunder.
Man, basically go mode. I mean, the only thing that could troll him right now is possible glove in 5.
Oh, yeah.
We're deep in a one connector Death Mountain situation. Oh my goodness, that's what I want so badly.
And of course, fairy could be acquired in 5, 6, or GP. Not too likely.
You notice he'll get an encounter on the road, and he has the free 3-second road encounter, where he just kind of walks out of it and doesn't have to worry about any enemies. On the next bracket flags, that's everything is going to be random, even the encounter tiles. So those could even be those lava encounter tiles that are on VOD.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing. And we see Rikuplayer doing jump stabs on the Lizalfos, and I think it's much more consistent if you do a ducking stab and you kind of go into their hitbox instead of treating them like iron knuckles. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
No, you're absolutely correct. While you're jumping, when you hit him, if you're holding down while you're slashing, it hits him every single time, and you're safe from being hit. It's weird, I don't understand it. Same thing with the Rebenek in Palace 3. If you attack Rebenek, and right there, we already see a problem for AmazingAmpharos.
Oh, the luck of the boots. Yeah,
he's gonna need a connector cave, and he better hope his lucky stars that one of them connects the northern or southern section of the continent, because otherwise, AmazingAmpharos is in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be up to when he decides to go back to New Kasuto after he gets that 5th heart container, because he knows he needs 5 heart containers, but sorry, life
magic
containers.
containers.
But he doesn't know. Yeah, but he doesn't know how important it is to get that. For all he knows, it's a 500-point V-bag.
Well, he'll find out soon enough. Hopefully, this is a magical container for him, so we can get the race back evened up. As of right now, Rika is kind of spinning his wheels on Maze Island looking for that second item, and he's doesn't know it, but has a huge advantage right now with having the brutes and AmazingAmpharos not.
Yep.
Ooh,
Well.
that changes things. I bet you he hikes it right back over there.
You think? I mean, is that? I mean, we know that that's what he should do because we know what the prize is. But I mean, it could, as far as he's concerned, it could be a heart container or something like that.
It could be the glove. He doesn't know.
Yeah, that's also true. But I mean, is that the last of the caves for him over here? Has he done the up and the down cave?
No, he hasn't done the down cave, but also keep in mind he wasn't able to cast the spell. So this is a total of 2 items that are just about 15 tiles south of where he's at.
Oh,
and
true.
he doesn't have to do that bridge encounter. He can just walk right across that bridge, no problem.
Lack of a cross in this room in particular does hurt, but
Oh my goodness,
it's just one.
He just got straight wrecked, yo. I mean, he just got... Dude, he got hit like 6 times, man, with the shield spell even took away a 5 whole heart container.
Well, and he lost a life, so he had to restart that room all over again.
Yeah, it's as if there was a magnet connected to him, and you see him beelining it straight to New Kasuto Town. He's absolutely going to turn that in, and he's going to be very happy once he gets that. Rikuplayer gets the Thunder spell, which, right about now, this race is looking about even. Rikuplayer is about 15 tiles north of him, so Rikuplayer's got a very small lead at this point. It's going to extend when AA goes to the spell tower
To get that second item, yeah.
Yeah, to get that second item. But meanwhile, Rikuplayer is going to get, probably 45 seconds worth of, or a minute and a half worth of exploration under his belt.
I am gonna say I do like Ampharos' levels better. And normally, levels aren't as super important as you might think, but he's a magic level ahead, and that means he can cast Fairy one more, possibly one more time, per life in a palace. But they don't have Fairy yet, so I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of is. I hate seeds that withhold Fairy from me for a long time. Oh, my fault. He got a heart container. And Rikuplayer, I thought it was a P-bag. Rikuplayer, up in A's back to the western continent for what reason, I don't know. Maybe to walk along the coast and further explore. I don't think he got any, maybe he's going to Death Mountain?
Death Mountain? Yeah, I guess he's thinking that's the easiest item now. Has he gotten the water tile? I don't think they've seen that yet, have they?
They haven't gotten 3 of the 4 out in the open items on the eastern continent. However, they've seen just about all of the western continent. They've gotten all of the item caves. There's one, however, that's boulder blocked, and AmazingAmpharos going up the eastern seaboard of the eastern continent. And I bet you that this is the play right here. There's going to be 3 spell items, or 2 or 3 spell items, two spell items, free for the taking, and the 3 item caves or item locations that are just outstanding at the moment.
Now, if that was Palace 3 and you've got 1 or 2 keys in your inventory, do you try it? No, you don't have the glove yet, I guess.
No, I jump in Palace 3 without the glove. I don't care. It's really small, and if you get glove blocked, it'll be rather quick.
Yeah, but that might ruin your shot to, do like Palace 1 or something, if you find it.
Palace 1 is on the western continent. We have found that.
Oh, okay, cool. I think they should, they've got a key or 2. They should just do Palace 1. I
want them to do Death Mountain so bad.
I want to see it too, but I kind of feel like they're going to do Palace 1 anyway, so might as well see what's...
Well, they already attempted to do it. There was a key block in the second room in. It was either the first or second room in. They couldn't progress any further because there was a key block. A Rikuplayer finds Palace 3 or 6, thinks about it for a second, says no thank you, and then finds Palace 1 again, and he might have 1 or 2 keys. You know, the extra key setting is turned on, so as long as he gets to that front door, you know, he's probably going to be safe. If he's got a key or 2, he can full clear this dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. Even if he has just 1 key, the chance that there's another locked door in the very next room before he gets another key is pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he has 2 keys, and if that's the case, this palace is full clearable. There's a total of, I believe, 4 keys just laying around out in the open. There may even be 5 keys right now, just laying out. I know I can think of 4 off the top of my head.
Yeah, because it'll switch to small items too, this randomizer.
Every P bag is a key now. So everything that's just sitting down has been transformed into a key. Doing these palaces without the fairy spell an option. And he turns around, he must not have another key.
Yeah, but there's plenty of keys to the left. I'm actually surprised he didn't go for the item, because he still needs some very important items.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it's the magic key or the glove, he's going to be super happy. If it's a spell item that gets him fairy, he's going to be super happy. If it's a magic container, he's going to be a little happy.
Yeah, and you can see there was a key on the bridge. Generally, that's a 500 point P bag. At the end of this, there will always be a key. In the next round settings, these are going to be random, and they aren't all going to be keys. Some of them are going to be P bags, but right now, it's pretty advantageous to do palaces like 1, 3, 2. If you have a couple keys, because you can generally just do them. Palaces like 5 even are pretty simple to do, but Palace 4 and Palace 6 are very difficult to do. They generally have, you know, I don't even know how many key doors, but I've gone in there with 5, 6 keys and left empty-handed before. So, and Palace 4 and Palace 6 generally eat up your keys. So unless you have like a good fairy spell or several keys under your belt, magical key or whatever, I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah. But yeah, if he comes out of Palace 1 with a couple extra keys, which he probably will, you know, Palace 3 is looking pretty good after this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have the shield spell. You don't really need downstab. Yeah. Downstab would be nice, but whatever. Ooh, 20 XP polar bear heads, and he finds a Mr. Horsey head. Yeah,
and he's going for it. I might have waited until I found the item. Hopefully, getting above that 710 XP, limit before then. And I mean, he's going to be looking for that item anyway. But it's not really a big deal in the end.
Mr. Horsey goes down.
That's the first gem for the seed, isn't it?
Absolutely. Technically, Rikuplayer has a lead on gems, and AmazingAmpharos finds Palace 5, I believe. Is it the eastern? No, this is the western continent. Yep, Motorbot Cave, western continent. So, it'd be pretty interesting if this turns out to be the hammer leading to the glove or something in here. You can see he turned around. He's going back to the item cave. I mean, the item room in Palace 1.
Oh yeah, you got to.
I might do an up and A. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So the up and A thingy.
That route would have probably led him to a key, but he has better uses for his time than that. Probably.
Yeah, this isn't a casual playthrough. This is a race. $20-point orange iron knuckles, which is kind of a bummer, but
that is sad. But you also got the 20-point panther heads, or you call them polar bear heads.
Yeah. That's what Angry Larry called him one time, and it kind of stuck.
Well, I guess a polar bear that's just eaten has a red head.
Yeah, I mean they resemble polar bear faces kind of. I can see where that came from. Does Rikuplayer have an extra key? I think he does.
Yeah, I think he does. He has one. So if that's his last key, he's probably not going to do the 3 after this, but this could be an important item. But you can't do that. You just gotta defeat the Iron Knuckle or lure it out and jump over it. You can't just bash your way through there at -5.
I mean, he could even cast Thunder, maybe.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, you can just barely make it. All right.
It's a magic container, which is helpful. But
Yeah, not what he was looking for, but it is helpful, definitely, especially in GP. You know, when you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for your magic.
AmazingAmpharos hasn't found P-Back Cave yet, so he's gonna get the magical container at the end.
Now, this started out looking like a sort of easy seed, but at this point, they don't have the glove. We're 35 minutes in. They don't have the glove, and they don't have any way of opening doors.
They've got choices to make at this point. Either take a pass-through cave on the east or jump into Death Mountain, and I love this situation. Please, somebody jump in Death.
Yeah, I think Death Mountain is the, but they don't have the hammer. But I guess you got to do it at this point, right?
It could be the hammer.
It could be the hammer, and then Spectral Rock is something else. But is there anywhere else in the overworld they haven't checked yet on the east? I know they've got the west completely covered, except for the Hammer Block Cave.
The Hammer Block Cave is Trophy Cave, confirmed by process of elimination. And on the east, they're still missing Sunken P-Back Cave, Water Tile, and the Desert Tile. So.
Yeah, so any of those eastern tiles could be the hammer. I kind of, on a logical basis, you kind of want to check those first, since those are several different locations, as opposed to only one location in Death Mountain that they can get to right now. That said, I'm a big fan for jumping into Death Mountain, so it's just kind of fun.
In a situation like this, why not? You have the boots, you can go along the coast. Sure. It's probably not going to be that big of a deal, and it could be a game changer.
Yeah.
And it's at the expense of what, 3 minutes? I mean, unless Hammer Cave, that's like, if Hammer Cave is like moderately difficult to find.
Yeah.
But if you go in there and find it right away, it's only like, a minute and a half that it costs. If you go in and find Hammer Cave right away and do it, it's like 90 seconds to go. Probably 45 seconds to just go in to Hammer Cave and get the item up in A really quick.
I guess Ampharos is not comfortable fighting the Iron Knuckles with the short ceilings, but you actually can get a jump stab slash pretty easily, even with those short ceilings. It just looks a little weird.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's probably not familiar with the strat. Maybe Rikuplayer, taking a look at the back end of Bonner passes, no thanks, says never mind, I changed my mind. Decides to go in. This is a pass-through cave that we haven't seen the other side of, which could possibly lead to the northern or the southern section of the eastern continent. I don't understand why these guys aren't fighting stuff.
Yeah.
Did they make a bet or something?
I mean, at the very least, he could have just pushed the blue Lizalfos off the cliff and jumped over it. Like, if he didn't want to fight it, that's all you had to do, really.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, be rude or facetious or anything. It's just, I feel like that they're making the game harder than it really.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's in a new section. We're not familiar with this section of Eastern Hyrule yet.
Oh, nice.
Gets a lucky fairy encounter. Yeah.
And I'm on Ampharos' side, I'm glad that he also decided to go get that extra key, because as we found out, his opponent also needed that key to open up the item door. So it'd be a shame to go find the item and not have that key.
Now the Scorpion Maxes, I understand. Ooh. He's got choices. I don't understand why he wouldn't cast Thunder right now. You can usually kill those guys with one Thunder cast.
Or, a Thunder and a couple stabs. Yeah, the Scorpions are usually not worth it, but this is painful right now.
That's Max.
Is this his last life?
This is absolutely his last life.
Alright, well, he's gonna make it.
He does the neutral jump, which is the good play, and he ends up on the same side of the eastern. Yeah, this just ran him round, baby right round.
Yeah, was there nothing else I mean, he took one passer, got him to a new area, then he took another passer and it took him to an old area. Was there nothing else up in the new area?
It was a dud.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, they've got the boots, so they know that whatever they're missing is going to be a pass-through at this point. Or it could be River Devil blocked. But
yeah, the River Devil
is useless, right?
Yeah, we've just figured out recently that it is useless because they've been able to walk around it with the boots. You'll see Rikuplayer on the northern section of the River Devil. AmazingAmpharos does the up and A, or goes, exits, comes back in to retrieve the item, which we know is a magical container.
Yeah. At this point, I'm really feeling this Death Mount thing, because the game should have thrown them Fairy or the Magic Key by now. It's probably just waiting for them in Hammer Cave. Or Hammer's waiting for them in Hammer Cave. But we got a desert tile here? Wrong one. And up an A, maybe we're gonna see some Death Mountain?
I sincerely hope that we see some Death Mountain. I mean, come on. That's what that's what the viewers want.
Yeah, you know what? It's weird. As random as this randomizer makes things, you do get Vanilla Hammer, I don't know, maybe like 10% of the time, and then you also get, or 5% of the time, which is still pretty often, but you get Dark Link right after Thunderbird like 25% of the time. It's kind of crazy.
But yeah, I mean, Dark Link resides behind Thunderbird, and sometimes the first room's Thunderbird, and then you're
yeah, and then
you're running around for 20 minutes trying to find the right, elevator or left-hand turn you're supposed to make to get you into the area where Dark Link is. Let's see what these guys do. I want to see a pass-through cave that takes us somewhere interesting. AmazingAmpharos is going through the loop-de-loop. Unfortunately, he'll find out in about 30 seconds or so that he made a horrible mistake, and he'll probably pick a different pass-through cave. Rikuplayer is in some sort of encounter. And this is a pass-through cave we haven't seen yet.
Good. Because this will lead someplace interesting. They've been everywhere else on the Eastern continent, so they're going to be picking up their desert and water tile right after this, I'm guessing. Oh, look at this nice valley here. We got a desert.
A suspicious-looking desert tile. And he's getting wrecked by those freaking
cast
things.
Thunder.
I would cast the
spell. That could be.
I would cast the heck out of Thunder right now.
Yeah.
I'd be Thunder and everything, dude. Sometimes, a lot of times they'll drop a red jar for you.
Wrong desert. They can't even get the P back here.
Dude, this is so unfortunate for them. This is one of those. They don't have. Yeah, here's another one. This is probably the right one. And it's another magical container, which isn't bad, but it's not what they want.
Yeah, there's a town. Have they not? Oh, maybe it's Old Casuto. Have they not been there?
I don't believe that they've been there. Yeah, they're missing Old Casuto and they're missing Naburu.
Game over here.
Yeah, he's getting straight up wrecked, and so is AmazingAmpharos. He's about to find out the bad news that what he did was a big mistake.
It's life. I was gonna say if it's fairy, then the randomizer is being cruel, but no, it's life.
Well, a fairy at least gives them the opportunity to do stuff. Right now, all they can do is die.
Well, sure, but the logic sending you all the way to this one valley on Eastern to do any palaces at all.
AmazingAmpharos and Rikuplayer both find the sunken peabag cave, which is the second to last item cave.
No,
yeah, this is the sunken peabag.
Yeah, Riku and Ampharos is.
Oh, I'm sorry. They look so similar.
What? Guess where Ampharos is now? He went through the other pasture that led here.
Oh, he took some kind of.
There's a key.
Ooh, that opens up a lot of stuff.
So they're going to be getting their keys at almost the exact same time. This is pretty awesome, considering where the key's located.
This race is so close.
And we're still missing the water tower, right? That could be south in this valley. They should. I would hope that they explore once they get back out of here.
Dude, they are missing jump or fairy, and they only have one more chance to get it. I'm not sure if we got any spell item hints. If Guma sits on a child, that's going to be pretty terrible.
Ooh. Well, you don't necessarily need jump or fairy, so one of them might brave it and take the gamble, and the other one might go digging. Or
well, we still have Naburu on the tables, and there's jump, fire, and fairy. So, I'm curious to see what fire is going to be linked to.
Stop it right.
We're missing. There's only. Is there only? Yeah, there's 3 spells. There's the 2 spell item. There's Rudo, Mito, and then whatchamacallit? Naburu, which is on Rikuplayer's screen right now. Riku is in Naburu Town. Let's see what this is.
I'm gonna guess it's fairy. Now that they have the key, it's gonna be fairy.
That'd be the biggest troll. I want it to be fire so bad.
Now, Ampharos knows that desert tile is not going to be the item. But
was that 3-eyed rock?
I didn't see.
Nah, it wasn't. Oh my goodness, I saw that one tile out there, and I thought, ooh, it is fire. The dream is alive.
What is it?
He's gonna.
It's not fairy.
It's not fairy. It's not jump.
It's not shield.
If that's Thunderfire,
that's
it's gonna be kind of a big deal. Yeah, it's not fairy and it's not jump, which is they have to get a spell item out of somewhere at this point.
All right, there's the water tile. Okay, we're on it now. And unfortunately, that means the Death Mountain Dream is not alive since they have got pretty much everything they need.
They need the glove. They need the
that.
glove, and that's the big thing.
Oh, hammer!
They got the hammer. Now Death Mountain is looking very, very desirable at this point.
2 items in there, and you got the quick progression with the boots.
We still have
explore over here, I don't think, right?
Okay,
oh, Alice.
So
2 palaces.
Boots not required, 100%.
We got 2 palaces. This is what was a good little. I was calling it a valley at first. It's not a valley at all.
That
so we got 2 here.
I
know might
these
as well
guys,
do it.
I know these guys are gonna dig the cross out. If I were them, I would. At this point, they're getting absolutely wrecked by those invisible modes. We got a hint earlier, Nightcrawler. In the town of Saria, the first guy at the very opening says that Helmet Head guards the cross. So
Well, sure, but I mean they're pretty much done over here. So the cross isn't going to help them very much if they pick it up.
no, they've got 3 palaces to do, and they're going to be visiting a lot of invisible Moa locations. So if they at this rate, they're getting beat up by just about every single encounter that they get into. This graveyard encounters especially are covered with invisible eyeball Moas. which are just absolutely and utterly destroying them every single time, making them game over and restart on the Western continent. So it might be advantageous for them at this point to grab that.
So they haven't seen Palace 4 yet?
No, they haven't seen Palace 4 yet, but they have the means to complete it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what's in Valley of Death. And there's no real... Like, you can fall into a room that blocks you without the glove, but I think that's the only possible glove block in Palace 4, right?
No, Palace 4 has absolutely no glove blocks. The only places that have glove blocks are Palace 2 and Palace 3 and 6.
Yeah.
Palaces 1, 4, and 5 do not have any glove blocks at all. So you can enter Palace 1, 4, or 5 with confidence without the glove and go ahead and get that item.
Yeah, so I think that they're going to want to finish both of these palaces while they're here, even though Death Mountain and the Boulder Blot Cave are tempting, and that's 3 items they can pick up. But I mean, they're right here. Don't want to waste time coming back.
I know the glove's going to be in Death Mountain, and I just hope it's really deep. I hope these guys have to work for it, and the fairy spell too, and the jump spell. I want all the spell items to be on Death Mountain with the glove, and it just be a Death Mountain raid.
That would be pretty nice.
This is the glove block room for Rikuplayer, so it's possible that he can't reach the glove or the ball, or not the glove, the item or the boss at this point, because there's a possible downward elevator to that left-hand side, plus the item room. So that's kind of a sticky situation right there.
Yeah.
I think this might be a dead end. Isn't this the way AmazingAmpharos came? Nah, here we have more. We have 2 sections here. So there's a 33% chance at this point that he's SOS. And spiky Mew drippers, that's like the absolute worst thing that you can get.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're planning on farming. But they're also a little annoying to deal with without downstep, of course.
Here's the other thing about Valley of Death and Palace 4. They don't have the fairy spell. And they don't, at the moment they don't have the cross. So
well, there's no guarantee that there'll be invisible moas that are flying. It could be the eyeballs. That's a little better.
I don't know. Well, you have all those those Aikman flying around. Those coconuts, we call them. I don't know the real name of them. Man, Rikuplayer taking a bath.
Yeah.
He's on his last life. He's got to be very careful here. I would take it slow if I were him. That bot is just out for blood. Did you see that? He said, nope, not today, boy.
Maybe not so much out for blood as out for barbecue.
Oh, and AmazingAmpharos takes his time going across that lava bridge and gets paid off. Here's the boss, Helmet Head. And he's
not on his best days. Started out with what, 2 or 3?
Yeah, he absolutely destroyed that boss. So there's a possible left-hand turn up at the top. It could lead to the item. Since the invisible eyeballs are basically everywhere, I would probably take a peek left just to see, because
look how short the Valley of Death is. It's no problem, man. There might not even be an encounter. Oh, there's one.
There's a large encounter and there's a small encounter. If they get caught by the large encounter, it's gonna be Invisible Moa City. He just got lucky with the thing, and he just got the large encounter. So there's gonna be eyeballs.
The flying enemies here are the aches instead of invisible Moas.
I had him yesterday. It was both. Maybe I was playing bracket flags. I could have sworn it was my tournament race though. Now, it looks like Rikuplayer made it through that room, and as you detected, or as you called it, AmazingAmpharos is in Palace 4. I think I think Rikuplayer is about to be in that same lava room again. I don't know. Did he just pass it, or is it the next room over?
I think it's next one. Hopefully he makes it through this time.
There he is.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the boss.
Cool.
AmazingAmpharos missing the jump. But it takes him straight to the boss room.
Which is very nice. He's going to get a fresh 2,000 experience, and it's going to fill up. It's going to get him another sword level, maybe magic.
I think he's looking at attack 5 with 2,000 EXP. Riku's players placing his second gem, while AmazingAmpharos is placing his third gem. He has to go back to the item.
Yeah, definitely. Palace 4 is not a difficult item to get, and you're here. You're not ever going to want to come back.
He's running out of options.
Yeah, he needs that glove.
And Rikuplayer turning his back on Palace 4. I hope he's thinking Death Mountain.
I mean, even if he is, he should be up and A. I don't know where he's going.
Maybe he's looking for the Death Mountain connector cave on the east.
I think he's going to P4 now. I think he
Yeah,
just
this
got
is the play. This is absolutely the play right here. But it's not too many places that it could possibly be at this point. He keeps on getting knocked back by these encounters. He's got the spell.
Yeah, and he has
Magic
also.
4, at Magic 4 with 100 or so magic
Oh
points.
man. Oh, you can't do this again, man. And he's stuck in this encounter, so he's got to deliver on this one. Just cast a spell.
Yeah, this is
Alright.
bad news bears for him. Thank goodness for him, it's the only encounter here.
Oh,
He probably took a deep sigh of relief
yeah.
after that. An AmazingAmpharos powering through Palace 4 has a significant lead in this palace thus far.
Another dead end. Palace 4 has what, 4 dead ends?
It has 3 rightward dead ends, a boss to the right, and the item to the right, and it's got 2 leftward dead ends.
Yeah.
This room can be annoying with bracket flags, but because it's not bracket flags,
That,
it's always going to be 2 small enemies.
that
And
brought-
Rikuplayer misses the jump as well and ends up in the boss room, too.
So Ampharos is going to have to go down and to the left.
Yes, Zenifax, they're both in P4. AmazingAmpharos has a slight lead because he's been here already, killed the boss, and he's on his way to getting the item. Whereas Rikuplayer just got in, he's placing the gem, and he's probably going to be following his footstep.
Dead end.
You know, the item could be left of the boss.
Absolutely.
I've had that happen before.
I remember there was one race we had where the P5 item was required. It was a weekly, and like 3 of the 4 players who were on stream just decided to go left at the boss, and they found the item there. And everyone just had their own reasons for doing it. Nothing rational, really.
Well, I mean, Palace 5 can be long and strenuous. If you do it to the max, right? You can you can almost guarantee. And Rikuplayer gambles left at the boss. This could be huge. There's other things going on over here.
Yeah, but at the same time, we got a new rightward room on Ampharos' side. And that's a dead end. Well, for me.
Oh, this is gonna be the loop drop. I hope he takes it.
Oh my gosh, what if they need fairy to get the item? Isn't there?
Yeah, they
Oh no,
went-
they went from left to right. Yeah, never mind.
But as we're speaking on it, AmazingAmpharos is entering the item room and getting absolutely just smacked around by that iron.
I feel like it would have been a lot faster just to kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gets the trees rewarded with a trophy, so he's without a doubt at this point gonna get at least jump, right? It's 58 minutes in. These men are just now getting downstab, or AmazingAmpharos, rather. And you can tell that the early leveling, AmazingAmpharos is attack 5, magic 5, and life 6. He could coast the rest of this game and be comfortable, just take and place gems and take levels. His early game, getting taking his early level is paying off in spades.
What you doing?
Is AmazingAmpharos looking for?
I hope he's looking for Death Mountain.
I hope he's looking for Death Mountain too. I'm just either that or Palace 5.
Or maybe he forgot where the hammer block cave was. The trophy cave.
Rikuplayer finds the item room much faster than AmazingAmpharos, and he decides to kill the Iron Knuckle, which is the right play. Gonna hurry up, get in there, get that trophy up in A, I guarantee, and go back to start.
That's very nice. We have Ampharos turning in the trophy, but you know what? Riku made up some time in that palace.
Oh, sure. He made up some big time. He's
right on 1 or 2 minutes, right?
He is on his heels right now. He gets the jump spell.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He has every spell but one, and he can still be blocked from finishing the game.
Please, Kimo, please be stinging on the kid.
That would be wonderful.
I love this game so much, and when I get thrown puzzles like this, yeah, I have anxiety attacks while I'm playing because the other player could be miles ahead of me, and oh yeah, that's right, they do have the hammer.
Yep.
They do have the hammer, and this is going to be Trophy Cave. Last item cave on the Western Continent, process elimination. Let's see what Rikuplayer pulls out of here.
Yeah, we got 3 easy items for the taking.
Oh my goodness, I love this scene.
So what do you think that was? You think that was the candle originally, or?
I'm thinking that was a big fat turd.
Yeah. Well,
that was Zelda 2. That was Zelda 2 Randomizer sticking the middle finger up at Rikuplayer, which is unfortunate, but that's etching more and more to Death Mountain. And AmazingAmpharos is getting the downstab technique. I guarantee you, he talks to the spell lady and figures out where that darn spell is going to be.
Yeah, he knows there's a decent chance he can need it, and if you've already looked almost everywhere else, you might as well get the item location. And Xenifex, this is a very fun game to play. As much fun as it is to watch and commentate on it, it's even more fun to play.
Let's see fingers crossed. Let's see where the kid or the medicine is.
Death Mountain.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
Awesome.
At least he's got downstab now.
Yeah.
Oh man, this race just got great. And Rikuplayer jumping into Palace 3 or 6.
He doesn't have the downstab yet.
It's Palace 3.
Okay.
Which I really like this play. This could actually contain the glove.
It could.
You could tell it was 3 because in that downward elevator there was only one enemy on the right hand side and not an enemy on the right and left. And in this room there's a repeatable enemy, that polar head. A similar room resides in 6, but immediately glove blocked. Well, at least he has that information. And AmazingAmpharos gets the middle finger as well.
Yeah, and with 0 experience out of 2,125, he just up an ace. 2,150. Yeah, nothing lost there.
So, you think these guys are going Death Mountain? I know they're going.
They better. I feel like at this point you kind of have to, because there's a 50-50. Well, as far as Riku is concerned, there's a pretty decent chance there's the glove in there. Ampharos knows it's slightly lower than a 50-50 chance because he knows one of the items is not the glove. But that item that is not the glove could also be required to even finish the game. So
Yeah, absolutely. I forfeited a race a couple weeks ago because of that. I just didn't,
yeah,
and I even saw the spell item and just I didn't want to have to do all that nonsense. I felt like I don't know. I wanted to go to sleep. But Rikuplayer found the town of Mito, so he knows where Downstab is. AmazingAmpharos already having Downstab and the information that he needs to go to Death Mountain for the fairy spell. And this overworld, when we first started, I had mentioned something about the overworld and Swiss round flags being very rude, and this is a good example. The town of Rudo was all the way on the very southern side of the continent, like one or two tiles away from
the screen.
away from the southern section of the screen, very easily missable.
That is rude, but I kind of find it even ruder when it's like a three-way split, overworld or something.
And did you notice where the town of Mito was? The town of Mito was all the way in that little corner tucked in the left-hand side, northern west. So
Pretty rude.
Very rude. AmazingAmpharos is jumping into Palace 5.
I don't agree with this. I think you check Death Mountain first to let you know if you want to look for the item in P5 or not.
I mean, I feel the exact same way. Old meta says glove in 5, 100% of the time. I mean, because that's what it used to be like all the time. That was kind of a meme. That was pretty popular back in the old days.
So maybe Amphros is going with the old meme. He is an old player, right?
Yeah, these both are old players, and that would be a riot if the glove was in 5. One hour, 5 minutes, and 30 seconds in.
No
Still looking for the glove.
And still wanting fairy too.
Lost Pirate did us great by rolling this seed.
Oh, you know what would be really cool? Like if there was a third sword technique, if like the swordsman that you learned it from was a pirate. You know what? There should be just a pirate town. That'd be rad. I'm sorry. Just imagine.
I love the pirate theme. It's always pretty cool.
There's a pirate town in Dragon Quest 3 that's pretty awesome.
I used to play a game called The Curse of Monkey Island or Monkey Island. The Lost Pirate definitely rolled some gold. This is a great seed, and she's been rolling great seeds coincidentally every single time. It's been very entertaining to say the least. And Rikuplayer is doing something very interesting. I think he's gonna sail back to the eastern continent. Hegyak, whatchamacallit, 1-ups drop, keys drop, 500 p-bags drop. It's the randomizer and the drops have been set to random.
Yeah, so you could end up in a situation where everything's a blue jar, or you can end up in a situation where everything is a life. Unlikely, but it could happen.
I use that in the weekly on Tuesday. I use that really awesome Yoshi sprite that you made. I love that sprite so much.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's my best one. I think there's some close ones, but that's the best one.
It's really well done, and AmazingAmpharos finds the item in Palace 5. This could be huge.
It could be, and he found it without too much trouble too, so that's good. P-bag. That's why you check that mountain first.
Oh my goodness. So here are the options: Death Mountain or Palace 6.
Yep.
Glove?
And they don't have the glove, so Palace 6 is not looking like a good option for finding the glove.
I don't know. You'd be surprised.
But you don't want that situation, do you?
I want that situation.
You want that situation.
I'm sure Chad wants that situation too. Did Riku just go into into was that wasn't Death Mountain. He
Yeah,
dropped
it wasn't Death Mountain.
he
No.
dropped and found a heart. Maybe it was the second item on Maze Island.
I think that might have been. I know he wasn't in Death Mountain though. Yeah.
We got
But
excited
you
there
gotta-
for a second.
You gotta decide what kind of trolley location you want. Do you want it to be trolley in Palace 6 or do you want it to be trolley in Death Mountain? Here's Death Mountain.
Here we go. Here we go.
Because Death Mountain can be absolutely horrible. It can be. There was a Death Mountain that I had one time. It was great. So I saw the Spectral Rock location, and it looked like there were 2 caves leading to it, which is pretty bad, because that means... Okay, there's 2 caves leading to it, so out of the 56 caves or whatever it is, only 2 of them will lead there. But it was worse than that, because when we actually got there, one of the caves was Hammer Cave, so there's only 1 cave out of 50-something caves that led into that, to both items. It was fantastic.
We saw a cave on Rikuplayer's side, and it looked, it was in a very small patch of cave.
And here it is, easy peasy.
Besides Hammer Cave, I'd be interested to see if he goes back in and pokes around for the Spectable Rock. I absolutely would. That's a quick, easy, free item. A lot of these caves take a couple seconds to go.
Yeah, I would say definitely you want to do that, because you already know you're getting a spell item from here. I mean, Riku doesn't know that. But the spell item is good, but you want to get that glove, so you're going to want to check both locations. Now, if he gets a glove here, and he just leaves, and it turns out that fairy is required later, that's going to be real bad.
We're about to find out exactly what he gets. If it's a red jar or a pea bag, I'm gonna lose it. Well, here we go.
There it is.
It's the glove! Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh, is he doing it?
Riku Player is like, I'm out of here. Let's go.
So,
oh my goodness.
So one of my predictions came true. If my other prediction comes true, he's gonna hate me. He's gonna hate me. If fairy is required and he noped out of the area that has the item for fairy,
we might see a forfeit at that point. But who knows? AmazingAmpharos might never, ever, ever go in the Death Mountain until it's the very last thing. I mean, you saw he dug out the item in House 5. He's on the Eastern Continent right now, which is far away from where he needs to be. I think he's just looking for the Groomster so he can place a quick gem.
yeah. I think.
Why did he turn around? That wasn't a dead end. He turned around and there was a pass-through room.
Oof.
Oh, that could hurt him. That could definitely hurt him. He might want to turn around and go back in the other direction because, the boss could be over there.
On Ampharos' side, you mean?
Yeah, he looked over and there was a room with the pillars. It wasn't the dead end room.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't see it, but
AmazingAmpharos might be in big trouble if he just marked a dead end room.
yeah, that's pretty bad. If you just walk out of the boss room, you don't need a life buddy.
Okay, maybe he's been there before and he's exploring a different branch. Palace 5 can be confusing. It's the same exact size as Great Palace with the shortened Great Palace flag on. So it's I think it's about 27 room.
Yeah, so they know they don't need the flute. They really don't need the cross at this point. They've already done, all the hairy stuff in Eastern.
Man, he just got teabagged by that orange iron knuckle right off the top.
Yeah.
Right off the top turnbuckle.
So nothing in these palaces, as far as items go, is going to be that useful.
Cast jump, cast jump. You have the jump spell. Don't get blocked in there.
Alright, we got the item room, and this is not going to be useful. It's going to be like Heart Tin or something.
And AA finds Groomster. With attack 5, this is going to be an easy kill.
Yeah, Heart Container. let me ask you, Trails. You've got 7 magic jars. You've got life. You've got every spell except for fairy. You walk into the item room in 3, and do you go for it? Do you go for the item knowing it's going to be a heart, or do you just leave and save the 15 seconds?
I turn around, ashamed that I have that many hearts to begin with.
Alright, so we have the safe strat for Boss Guma. It looks like it's going to be paying off any second now.
He needs to be careful, because if he kills Guma off screen, he's going to soft lock his palace, and he's going to have to redo the fight all over again. Thankfully, he gets him back on screen before he gets the kill. Placing the gem, getting a cool, what is that, 1800. Probably going to be the next magic level. I think Life 8 is around 4,000 generally, but random, it could be set at random values.
Unfortunately, that's for Riku. That was kind of the worst possible way that death could have happened.
So who do you put in the lead right now? I mean, Riku is full dig shake, and unless otherwise, unless. I mean, there's no fairy block in Palace 5. If there's no fairy block in Palace 6, GG?
No, because there's 2 potential fairy blocks in GP. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but just because I said it might happen, I think it's going to. So in that case, I kind of want to put Ampharos in the lead, but he is not even interested in Death Mountain at all. He's not going to get his blow.
That is the problem, see?
Like really, there's only 1 palace over here that they haven't checked the item in, and there's 2 items in Death Mountain, so even, yeah.
And Death Mountain really wasn't bad at all, right? If you want to be honest, he went through 1 cave. If I had the boots, I may have just, because this seed is really holding out. At this point, Death Mountain is kind of screaming at you with the hammer and the boots, and the hammer cave was free for the taking, and so. I give Rikuplayer the huge advantage at this point. He's just going to place the last 2 gems with ease. Palace 6.
He's not going to be looking for items in Palace 6.
Yeah, Palace 6, I think, is the only thing that Palace 6 is the only thing that could hold Rikuplayer up at this point. I've completed a bunch of seeds without the fairy spell, so it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not always required, but it can happen.
And AmazingAmpharos going back into Palace 3, it looks like, or is this Palace 6? This Palace 6. And I mean, this is a viable. I mean, the glove could be here. I mean, this isn't a bad play.
Well, it could be here in a Schrodinger's cat kind of way, because we know where it actually is. We have collapsed its wave function.
Yeah, we're in quote unquote no mode. So,
yeah.
And we also know that Rikuplayer is going the very wrong way, and he's going to be ripped 5 minutes in about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
This whole upstairs leads to nothing but dead ends and a 500-point P bag.
Yeah, if he sees it out of room, I think you just walk out. Like, you don't really need that last container, do you?
I don't know. Let's find out. Well, it's not a last container. It's a.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about AmazingAmpharos?
No, I'm talking about.
At this point, we can do a full item rundown. Palace 1 had the magic container. Palace 2 had the cross. Palace 3, what was that? A heart? Yeah, it was a heart in Palace 3. Palace 4 was what was Palace 4?
This
magic
is why you beat me in races, because I don't remember any of them. I just check them off and throw them away.
Yeah, I want to say like Palace 3 was like either a heart or a magic container. Probably a heart container. It wasn't anything important. Because
did any of them have an important item?
Now this seed really held out. It gave you Reflect Thunder really early, for free. Yeah, 3 was a heart container. I'm wondering what 4 was. Well, one was a magic container. I'm just gonna say heart container. 2 was a cross. 3 was a heart container. 4 was a heart container. 5 a 500-point P bag.
Oh, we're seeing Death Mountain on Ampharos' side finally.
Actually, 4 was the trophy. I'm sorry, I can see it on Riku's tracker.
Okay, yeah, trophy was potentially a little important. What was it?
Trophy led to the jump spell, which allowed these two to get down stabbed. They didn't get down stabbed until the 1 hour mark. And AmazingAmpharos doing the right play. He's about to enter Hammer Cave because this looks like the right section.
Yeah, he should be getting in there pretty soon.
It was a wonder.
It was a wonder. And he knows that that fairy is going to be something he gets. That Spectral Rock here.
Whatchamacallit, yeah, he knows that's gonna be that. He's absolutely gonna find a glove. Here he is. He's found Hammer Cave easy, just along the coast. He'll have the glove in no time. Does he dig out the spell item though?
You know, I don't mean to tease them too much, but I've seen more damage done by Iron Knuckles in this seed than I think in the past couple weeklies put together.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they don't care. They're just powering through it, just walking through enemies. Now that they have the down stab, they can jump over them much easier. But yeah, I'm not trying to give these guys a hard time. I mean, everyone's got their own experience level. I don't like to have fun at other people's expense, but it's just, you're absolutely right. Like, they're just kind of walking through enemies. And, you know, I do that sometimes in GP because I try to not attack stuff, but I don't know. Everyone has their own play style. And AmazingAmpharos getting the glove.
I'm deciding fairy's not a thing. So hopefully they're both right.
Hopefully it isn't the weekly reloaded like from 2 weeks ago when it was like a total middle finger, thumb up the butt type of, hey, guess what? Dark Link's in the next room, and I remember that kid.
Yeah.
And I believe Rikuplayer has found all the dead ends on the on this side, and he's deciding to backtrack. Maybe there was an the upstairs room may have led to the item, so we'll probably be seeing an up and A from him soon. And Guma was right by the start, so he's gonna be placing gem number 5 rather quick. And it's really interesting to see different people's style of play.
Yeah, and I think the high life level is. I think life is actually pretty effective in this seed because that's another thing that gets randomized: the damage that enemies do, how much defense you have. I feel like things are favorable for them in this. You know, with Iron Knuckles doing, let's say, 2/3 of a heart or half a heart or something.
Yeah, I mean they've got very high attack levels. Rikuplayer finding the item room going to be very let down when he sees it, but it'll drive him closer to the boss. Captain Radix, Rikuplayer has I want to say, it's pretty hard to say. Yeah, it's a slight lead at this point because AmazingAmpharos is in Palace 3. It depends on what AmazingAmpharos does. Because, well, I give Rikuplayer about a 2 or 3 minute lead at this point because he's about to find a boss. When he does, he's already on the Eastern Continent, so he's got to do to find Palace 6, whereas AmazingAmpharos is going to have to sail back east and dig out Palace 6. It also depends on if these two fellers know where Palace 6 is.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I think they have come across it, but I don't remember where it was.
Oh my goodness, dude! If the fairy spell, is
right after Thunderbird again,
or in Palace 6 even. I mean,
oh yeah, there's that. Especially if Palace 6 is like at the end of like this long journey, and then you need it right before you get to the boss, and you just walked out of it. That's that's like a good 8 minutes right there.
Dude, Rikuplayer has attack 4. I don't understand.
I was gonna comment on that earlier. When you were saying they have pretty good attack levels, I'm like, well, Riku's still got kind of attack 4, so he's gonna have to make it work for him here.
He's got Guma in a good little pattern, swinging and jumping away. I like using the safety strats.
Yeah, it's a safe strat, but if you mess up once, it's pretty hard to recover like that.
Yeah, if he zigs instead of zags, dude, you're screwed.
Oh, there we go. Unfortunate. There was only like 1 or 2 hits left on that boss, and
He'll get it, but meanwhile, AmazingAmpharos getting ready to place the gem, evening this race right up. It's gonna be dead even, believe it or not, after Rikuplayer places this gem.
Let's see what PAL 6 looks like.
Ooh, I love this strat. Rikuplayer getting aggressive with Ball Skooma. It's all about the timing. If you hit
tank this.
There's a timing with it, right? You strike him, you wait a second. It's like you wait 1 second, then you jump and down stab at him. But I like his strat right now. He's not effing around with Guma. He just get out of here when he places his gem.
Oof. Can he cast life again?
No, he doesn't have enough, unfortunately.
Okay, we're good.
Guma down. So, AmazingAmpharos sailing east. Rikuplayer placing the gem, which puts them dead even at this point. We'll find out the slight lead. With whoever jumps into Palace 5, we'll see the time, and then we'll be able to say who's got the lead and by how much. But they both are headed to Palace 6. AmazingAmpharos placed the gem in Palace 3, Revenak. And Rikuplayer upping and A-ing. I don't understand this technique. Was Palace 6 on the west? It might have been. It was Palace.
I think it might have been, yeah.
No. AmazingAmpharos in Palace 6 right now.
Okay. Alright, so that puts Ampharos in a slight lead.
Yeah, Ampharos enters around the 125-30 mark.
I'm very late.
It's so crazy because this lead has been going back and forth. Rikuplayer had had the lead for I'm gonna say the majority of the time. He found the boots early, he got the glove early, but doing the up and A and the long walk back to the raft tile kind of hurt. I think we've been joined by Meme Troll.
I've been here. The only problem was Discord was not having a good time in my area for the last 20 minutes. So I missed a huge portion of the race, sadly, for Applebee's.
Dude, Discord freaking sucks.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't connect in my area. I actually, for a short moment, I went down the road like a good 20 minutes, got into Discord finally, and then lost it.
I just
went home.
I was commentating and I was on I did the weekly, and both times Discord crashed.
Yeah, it's not great.
Discord works very well.
Discord works fine, but it just happened to crash when I was doing commentary. So AmazingAmpharos finding the pass through Rebo. This could be kind of big. Now, the boss, the item, or the drop is on the other side of this, because you cannot enter this room from the right-hand side, so...
No, there's one other possibility, actually.
The fairy room?
And are we going to be done in 20 minutes? I don't think so.
Yes!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
For the sake of these guys, please let Boss Barba be... That was a fairy block, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Okay, to be fair, that could be leading to the item. Or it could be leading to a drop, or it could be leading
to the boss, come on now.
Yeah, it's leading to the boss.
It looks like it's gating the whole palace.
That's entirely possible too.
I mean, he took a drop here, so there's a couple other sections that he could take, but there's a huge probability that leads to the boss.
Yeah, he's already checked to the right here.
Oh my goodness, that was like the worst possible case scenario. And if he drops down here, and then there's the fairy required room, and then the other one leads to like a dead end or something.
Well, he could go left from where he was just now. So there's still more possibilities, but I really hope it's fairy required.
I hope it's fairy required too, for the viewers. And Riku, here's the Rikuplayer room. This room right here with the blocks is actually named after the player on the left-hand side, Rikuplayer.
Oh,
for what reason?
That?
It's a mystery.
So we have no idea why it's called that room.
Yeah, but it is indeed called the Rikuplayer room.
It's Nightcrawler room now.
Now this is old school. A Rikuplayer getting the bad news that the fairy, and these two they know how this game works, so they know something is on the other side of that.
Yeah.
You can just see the look on Riku right now.
Okay, Zero Wing is confirming that Rikuplayer had a difficult time getting to that room in an earlier tournament, so they dubbed it the Rikuplayer room at that point.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a race to the boss now, and down this elevator in the Rikuplayer room, a lot of times I see Barba connected to the Rikuplayer room for some reason. I don't know why. Usually the Rikuplayer room's a good sign.
So there still are more possibilities they haven't checked out. They could have gone left from that one drop location, but I think there's not too much more besides that.
That's a loop.
It is? Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, just go for it. Just go for the fairy. Just get it.
AmazingAmpharos doing the play.
Thank you.
Dude,
I wonder
great.
if they didn't pick it up just so they couldn't say that they were full Joshy D.
I am on the edge of my seat. Well, no, they skipped the cross and palace too, so there is no full Joshy D. And the cross is paramount for full Joshy D because that's his favorite item.
Well, they didn't have much choice in that, did they? Because they didn't have the at that point.
Now, here's the thing. If Rikuplayer goes left here and finds the boss, that puts him in a significant commanding. And it's just an item room, but there's more places you could go.
Yeah.
There was that rightward drop area, and there's two drop rooms that we haven't seen yet: the Crumble Bridge one and the one with the breakable blocks. So, I mean, hopefully
we saw the Crumble Bridge.
Well, then there's the one with the breakable blocks in it, and there was that one that's generally vanilla behind the whatchamacallit. This race has had me on the edge of my seat. I mean, it's like one thing after another. These guys are going to be exhausted after. They probably won't even want an interview.
Yeah, after a race like this, you just get tired.
You just want to take a nap. Not sure if AmazingAmpharos saw where the
Usually Spectral Rock is not very hard to get. See, okay, there it is. It's got 2 or 3 caves leading to it.
I saw 3 caves, but those caves could be leading to dead ends now.
At least 3. So, and we know all of those are none of them are dead ends or anything like that because.
No, they can be. I've gone through dead end caves after finding a one-way hammer cave that had like 1 extra cave.
And true, you know what? Those 2 caves could lead to each other, and there's only 1 cave leading in there. That's also possible.
So what's going on here? It looks like Rikuplayer is in Death Mountain right now, so it's a race to Spectacle Rocks, folks.
Yeah, Riku was in Death Mountain when he updated and came back. A little weird, but at least I think that's what happened. Who can find the boulder? This is where you need Oh, so close, but yet so far. This is where you need like a climbing kit from Breath of the Wild or something, just to climb up the ropes.
Yeah, they need one of those things, those ropes with a hook on the end, throw it on top.
Grappling hook?
Yeah, grappling hook, exactly, or like some sort of like, I don't know, climb some. They need the power glove.
So we just saw a high five between Ampharos and Riku.
Oh
They're
yeah.
in the same.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go, Ampharos. All right.
Man, doing the play. If Rikuplayer goes back upstairs and goes right, he's gonna be right there next to the rock.
And honestly, he should, because those when you're searching through Death Mountain, there's caves that have 2 entrances, and there's caves that have 4 entrances. The ones that have 4 entrances are what you want to be going for, because you can clear out the enemies, and it's actually pretty easy to go from like the top 2 entrances to each other, etc. So you want to go for those ones instead of just the 2-way ones.
Did you see that Mito spot? That's so cruel. Mito is like very hidden, tucked away in a little cubby in the northwestern section of West Hyrule. Very rude game. This seed, besides having the glove being so freely out in the open, this game's been pretty rude.
Yeah. Well, he didn't go back to the 4-way. He traced his steps back to the 2-way cave, and he's in a different section now. But there are 2 other caves that lead there, so he could find his way there anyway. And of course, Ampharos up and Aang to get back to Northern Palace quicker. Because just honestly, getting out of those houses is just time wasted most of the time, or a lot of the time. Maybe not most of the time.
What do you think they do? How do you think AmazingAmpharos feels? If he casts fairy, it goes across that room, and it's the item rebuild.
Yeah, ouch. That could be a thing. He might be feeling pretty horrible, but then, if it comes up as a thing in GP, then he'll be feeling validated.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be so funny. I would have an anxiety attack. I'd have a literal anxiety attack. I'd probably have to bust out a paper bag and do ventilation. Do the breathing into the brown paper bag, because I'd be like, oh my goodness, Rose City Saint already found the boss. But then again, he loves the fairy spell, so I can always count on him to dig out fairy. And I don't blame him. Fairy spell is an awesome spell technique. Very.
Now, can you imagine in a different world where different people are playing and they just do Death Mountain first? Then again, okay, if they did Death Mountain first, they wouldn't be finding Spectral Rock. They would, because the hammer was pretty far in the east, right?
Yeah, it was. It was boot blocked in the southern section. Oh no, wait a minute. It wasn't boot blocked. You had to take one magical cave that took you down into the southern section, and that's what I was talking about at the very beginning of this race. Was Swiss round flags put you in these situations where, these unfortunate overworld situations where you have to take some weird cave to get to an area.
Yeah, and that's the kind of experience that only someone who has as many games as yourself will really notice. Like, that's not something that I notice just because I don't have as much experience as you do. Oh my god.
No.
And it's gonna be the flute too.
Oh no.
They know where the cross is, and we know it's not a container, so it was a flute. That's horrible.
Fairy not even required.
They both went for it.
Did Riku find the medicine?
No. He's going back to it. I guess he likes restarting Death Mountain from a certain position. That might be a strategy for doing Death Mountain.
He's heading to Mito.
Oh, yeah, okay. My mistake.
Yeah,
then.
Tracker, he must have picked up the Water of Life, yeah, from the, whatchamacallit.
Yes, he picked up water.
I didn't catch it, but holy mackerel. Maybe the drop room that's fairy required, is what they're gonna need. But, right now, it's not looking like fairy was even required.
Now, what actually would be fun is if GP was behind the River Devil, and this is not the way it is, but that would be a heck of a seed. If you got to go to all that trouble to get, to get fairy, to get the flute.
Fairy may still be required in GP, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he took this, fairy required drop room. Maybe this takes into Barba.
Oh, true. Yeah, there's that fairy required drop room. Unless you drop from certain positions on different drop screens, then you can just walk on the walls, right?
Yeah, there's a way that you can manipulate it to where you jump and you land on the ceiling, actually.
Yeah.
Or if you hit that room from the Canadian drop hole room, you land directly on the ceiling, which is always great during a race when you don't have fairy. Because that and here's Boss Barba for Amazing Empharos. Let's see what the boss strats he has for this guy.
So it was required after all, and he should be able to take one hit. I mean, I know he's at. Oh, he doesn't have. Never mind. Okay, no hits because he doesn't have shield.
Dude, yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, Barba hits hard. Even if he had shield, it would have taken like 2 heart containers at least. Barba's a nasty snake.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing the safer jump strats.
So we're gonna have to look at the
Danger Noodle.
Danger Noodle? Weren't we just saying it was a noodle the other night?
I
I thought he said it was a toilet snake.
Toilet snake? I think I was saying a spicy ramen noodle has appeared.
I think Pirate was listening to your commentary the other night. Then, if she's saying that.
Yeah. Two's accompanying through the crowd. I should go, I guess, since you guys have it pretty much at the end of the race. I'm kind of sad. It took me an extra 20-30 minutes to even get in here.
Dude,
Well, it's all good. If you want to
they-
do some commentary,
I'm just here. I mean, I'll do whatever.
They need help with the next race badly, I think. I don't think they have commentary, or they might need an extra commentary.
yeah, we got
I'm
one or
like
two more
here, and
races.
like pretty much all the bosses are done.
Yeah, Amazing Empharos is heading the Great Palace,
GP,
and it was on Maze Island, so he'll be there in short time. Rikuplayer. Now, Rikuplayer had a really good Palace 4, I think it was. He hurried up and got the item in the boss very quickly.
I think I've only seen GP on Maze Island once, ever, in the whole year of weeklies.
Oh, it happens for sure.
Other than this time, this is probably the second time I've ever seen it. It's extremely rare.
You might want to ask the Alan Effley about the scheduling for the next couple races if you want to get one in. I'm probably going to commentate one more race after this.
Yeah, there's the one at 9 p.m. that really needs help, and I know the Dig Shake versus Unos match at midnight, which is going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be an epic race. Those guys are really good at this game. Happening at midnight tonight. And Amazing Empharos is going left in the Trails room, which is always the play.
I was thinking about sleeping, but if it's the Dig Shake versus Unos at midnight, I'll stay up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amazing Empharos
Creator
finally
versus the
done-
champ. I wouldn't miss it either. I think I'm gonna do commentary at midnight.
Technically, Rose City Saint is the champ, but Unos is absolutely amazing at this game, and I feel like that the only reason that he isn't the champ is that he doesn't play it as much as he used to. That guy is an absolute monster when he plays this game. Yeah, commentary has already been set up. Buzz Thunder and the Alan Heffley are going to do the midnight one.
All right.
But the 4-man race could probably needs help, I imagine.
Well, do we consider this the second weekly, but not on Speed Gaming?
Nah.
We'll pretend it is.
Alright, so for those of you in the audience who haven't played a lot of Zelda 2, those blue Bird Knights are probably harder than Thunderbird.
Yeah, they're highly annoying.
They're really unfair.
We call them spicy chickens.
No, that's the red guy.
The red
that
ones.
throw fire.
Are you talking about the focus?
Yep.
The bird knights that
fire.
the bird knights that just magically run right after you and know exactly where you are at all times and just throw knives at you. And those I want Dig Shake to randomize those guys out on the overworld.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
That'd be great.
I'd love it.
I'd be terrified. I don't think I'd play the rando anymore.
You don't play the rando.
I do. It just,
I want him to randomize Focus into a link to Ocarina of Time randomizer.
I wanted the giant bubbles that are in GP in the overworld, but eh.
We're talking about Focus. Light.
Let's pretend it's not that word that you're trying to get us to say.
I mean, but it is that word that we're definitely.
Yeah, no.
And we got a turkey sighting on AmazingAmpharos, so let's see how he roasts this bird.
Roast it with Reflect and Thunder. Oh, going for Shield instead.
Shield is good. I would definitely throw on Reflect too, though. I mean, he's got 2 free lives, so that's a
So
cheap
Thunder, Shield, and Fire.
Let's see, what was Fire?
Fire's Reflect.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Fire was linked.
Yeah, so that's a...
Zero, I forget, I think Zero Wing had mentioned something in chat earlier about Fire being Reflect.
Yeah. Ampharos has got to get his pendulum back in the swing of things. Go now.
I called that.
Sleep now in the fire?
Come on, hey, get that turkey.
Ooh, Reflect really paying its dues right there. I thought he was done for sure, but nope. Reflect. Oh, well.
Oh.
Last hit, unfortunately, was the last hit for him, too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like AmazingAmpharos could game over and then walk back to Thunderbird. I mean, he's got kind of a big lead at this.
Yeah, he does.
And it's Thanksgiving, and it's turkey time.
Hopefully he gets this kill the second time around.
It's looking pretty good.
He's got the pendulum going. He's got this.
Got the pendulum on the swing on things.
It's once you lose that pendulum, that's when it can go downhill pretty quick.
Yeah, but there's an easier way to set it up. And a life 7 with 7 hard containers.
Yeah, you got it, even if you have life or don't. Come on, A. One more. There you go.
And Thunderbird goes down. He burned that bird. He got the turkey. What'd you say, Troll?
Has either one of them done Jackhammer on Barber?
Nope.
Nah, these guys, they have a very low attack level. I see some people going for
Just, I mean,
Jackhammer.
for, like, style. I mean,
I feel like that with anything lower than attack 7 or 8, the jackhammer is a very sketchy technique because you gotta hit him a bunch of times, and you're probably gonna end up, if you're lucky, on the other platform if you bounce off the right way. But a lot of times you'll clip right through the turkey and end up right straight into the lava.
is the turkey
Of
a
course,
dragon?
everyone's got their own opinions on that. I'm big on the jackhammer strats.
But yeah, I mean, if you do attack 5 jackhammer, let's say,
Dude,
you're gonna have to hit him. You're gonna have to hit him like 6 times.
I practice on like attack minus, like attack 0 basically. before my races, I practice against like Boss Gooma and I practice against Barba, and I have a randomizer seed with weak attack, and I have it at attack 1, so it's basically like attack 1/4 or something. And so I just bounce off his head like a million times and practice that. It's not perfect, but you can definitely get to the point where you can stay on his head for a long time.
Okay, so Rikuplayer enters Great Palace, a whole 7.5 minutes behind Rikuplayer. I'm sorry. Rikuplayer enters 7.5 minutes behind whatchamacallit, AmazingAmpharos. And AmazingAmpharos is in a drop situation. Did he take the right one? No, he didn't. They put him back by start.
No curtain room yet.
He's gonna see the fairy room and then immediately know he messed up. Yep, up and A he goes, back to start.
I wonder if GP will require fairy though.
There were 2 drops after Thunderbird, and he noped the first one. And Rikuplayer doesn't know about these drops, so if he finds Thunderbird and takes the first drop, that could be GG, man.
Yep.
So right now,
I'm just curious.
Rikuplayer has a lead. If Rikuplayer plays it a certain way, he has.
Did both of them get upstabbed?
No, neither of them had upset.
And chance that could be required is kind of low, but if that happened, that...
It's possible to do it without upstab, since they have jump and fairy.
But if it's upstab blocked, then it blocks.
But Rikuplayer is
no,
a Thunderbird.
You don't need upstab for upstab block if you have jump and fairy.
And for some reason, he took a death. I feel like that he had enough magic to cast Thunder. Maybe it's too expensive at a Magic 5?
Although it's not easy to get around upstab block, even if you've got those.
Oh my goodness, Thunder is a whole 80 magic points
Wow.
at Magic 5. So they're
he can still do this pretty easily. He's got all the same benefits as Ampharos did. If
With
he
the
casts
exception
fairy,
of
he
one
should
heart,
go for it.
he's got an extra heart container.
Yeah. Hopefully he casts fire anytime now.
Alright, so AmazingAmpharos passing Thunderbird fight. There's a funky drop that'll put you back at the beginning of the palace. AmazingAmpharos is aware of this, so Dark Link is either out in the open, no drop required, but he's the process of elimination. He knows that the L7 drop room puts him in my room, which is not the right play. That's back at the very beginning of the palace.
Well, the smart play is not to take the drops, so hopefully...
Well, possibly. I believe that there's one drop that might put him in the area with Dark Link, and here's the second drop. I think this one's 4. This looks like the
This
loop.
looks good. Oh, it looks bad? Okay.
There's one that looks just like... Yeah, this is good, because the other one linked into my room. So at this point, he knows, do not take any more drops, because he knows exactly where it's going to lead him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem I had with my race last night. That wasn't the only problem, of course, but I wasn't counting the dead-end drops that I came across, and so when I came to a drop, I took it.
Curtain
It was
room.
kind of out of the way. Yes. Curtain room doesn't have any relationship to the
Yeah,
Punish
no.
of the Palace.
But at least it gives you an indication that you're moving forward.
Be interesting to see what's going to happen when he finds the drop room on the other side of this curtain room. Eventually he's going to run into it, and is he going to know that he's seen all of the drops? I believe he is, because it's AmazingAmpharos, and I believe that he knows enough about this game to where he knows that a drop would be bad news bears. He avoided the last drop. And was that
Second
a game
drop.
over? Yeah, that was a
Game
game
over.
over for Rikuplayer. Sending him back to start, he goes. AmazingAmpharos about to put the nail in the coffin.
He unfortunately got killed on Thunderbird.
Oh,
And here's Dark Link.
So this puts a nail in the coffin for sure.
What an amazing race by these guys. It's going to take a console freeze for Rikuplayer to win at this.
Yeah. But I think we've decided if you freeze it after you kill Dark Link, it still counts, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think you have to see the ending credits.
Okay.
I think people do it for the memes sometimes, but like, I don't know. Actually, you might be right. As long as you put the final stab on the Dark Zelda or Dark Link, that would be it. And it looks like GG for AmazingAmpharos. He's got one more there. Good.
Well, I mean, technically, time is when you stop moving. So if you freeze it, if you soft lock it, that never happens. But I think just for the fact that it's just so obvious what'll happen if you don't soft lock it, we typically let it happen. But yeah, so GG. What's the time on that one? The official SRL time.
The official SRL time is 1:53:51. I think. No, 1:53:31. And AmazingAmpharos is going to be joining us for an interview momentarily.
Now, Meme, there is another game starting in like 3 minutes with
I know.
Wizard if you want to get on.
You want to do it with me?
I don't want to do 3 races tonight. I'm going to do the Unos and Dig Shake one later. So I'm just
But
going to.
that's already filled.
Yeah, Eunice and Dig Shake has got Buzz Thunder and the Howlin' Heavily by popular.
Okay then.
So like when I was saying earlier, like, is this speed gaming part 2 second day weekly in a row?
This has nothing to do with speed.
I know though, but like it's 9 o'clock. It's the same scheduled time.
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to, in your mind, pretend that's all. That's up to you.
I know. It's Zelda speedrun.
Yeah, this is a completely different.
Completely different group.
Although, I'm sure that they're fine with each other. It's,
Hey, congratulations, man.
Good job.
Yeah. We joined by AmazingAmpharos.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. That was one heck of a seed. Wow.
I was just about to say the same thing to you, man. Double required Death Mountain dig. 5 containers for the boots. The seed held out jumping fairy on you guys for a very long time.
Yeah. So I was really, I wasn't really happy with my execution throughout the run, but I was really happy that I realized fairy was required exactly when I did, because I could have piddled around in 6 for a lot longer, but I was pretty sure I had enough information to conclude it.
Yeah, whatchamacallit, when we saw the item rebo after the fairy required room, we were like, holy smokes. Because there was at least one drop room location I don't think that we saw that could have been a possibility for Barba, I believe. But the fairy required room was the right place.
Yeah, like, I knew there was one drop left, but I knew it was the fairy drop. I was counting which drops you can walk right in I'd seen, and the one that you needs fairy was the only one left. I didn't think I was going to get one of the crazy angles that put me on the ceiling. Maybe it would have been possible.
That happens in, funny that you say that. When you drop in the Canadian hole drop room, that's the only one that will absolutely 100% of the time put you on the very top of the fairy required room. However, if you fall into one of those little, the little section rooms that have the little crumble blocks that are just nothing but filler rooms and you have to drop again, there's a way that you can jump and position yourself to where you fall on the top of the ceiling in the fairy required room. It's kind of difficult, but I've seen it done several times.
Yeah, I know that trick exists, but, my math on that trick is I've seen all the terminal drop locations, and they're nowhere near any of the useful drops. I have to fail that trick, once, maybe twice, and then getting fairy was faster. On top of the small chance fairies required in GP.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, getting fairy was a play. And interesting to tell you, Rikuplayer had a slight lead. I want to say, a lot of the times through the race, you kept up with him, and then he had the glove before you. He had the boots before you. But you went and got the fairy spell before he did, and I mean, it was just execution. You pulled off. Your execution was better. He game over. He took some unfortunate game overs, and you pulled ahead with a commanding lead. You entered GP 7.5 minutes before he did. So,
speaking of GP, so just shout outs to GP doing this to me. I entered, I was like, I'm probably behind. I've last location to everything this whole race. Double dip Death Mountain, it's just wonderful. But, I go left at the start, and it doesn't lead me anywhere, but I see 2 of the 4 drop destinations. Oh, okay, drops are real bad. Then after T-Bird, I have a 4th drop. I'm like, okay. Or after T-Bird, I see that drop room. I'm like, there is such a high chance that leads me back to start. I'll just go left instead. That'll go where I need to go. And then it's just the other drop that takes me back to start. Thanks, Zelda 2.
Yeah, that's that happens sometimes, man. I've had it happen to me more than once. It's an unfortunate troll, and you saw those 2 drop destinations. Eon drop by process of elimination would have dropped you to the room left of that, I believe. Yeah, and it's just unfortunate. You get put into these pick this drop or pick that drop situations, and it's always like flip a coin. But at that point, you had already had a 7-minute lead, so, I mean, it wasn't really anything stopping you. He's still fighting Thunderbird as we speak. He took a game over to Thunderbird. While you took the drop, found out up and aid while he was fighting Thunderbird. Past him, he game overed, and he just now finished Thunderbird.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that one death to T-Bird. That was probably the worst thing executionally I did in this run.
Yeah, I mean, T-Bird can be tricky, man. It hits hard. So, I mean, you got it right. You had him in the pendulum, and then you lost the pendulum a little bit. And when he gets into the enraged turkey mode, then he starts flinging his fireballs everywhere. It's difficult to block him, especially when he's out of sync with the pendulum. So, all in all, I think he did pretty good. I mean, the first time you went to go fight him, things didn't really go too well, but you got him without taking the game over.
Yeah, what a remarkable seed all around. I mean, everything about the seed was rude. Even the little things, like exploring Maze Island. I think I stepped on every single tile before I found the second item, and it wasn't even good.
Rikuplayer found the right drop the first time. He didn't ignore it, and he's now in the Jackamus room, so he'll be facing Dark Light pretty shortly. Yeah, this whole seed was awful, and you can blame Lost Pirate for that. She did a great job. She's been rolling nasty seeds this whole tournament. The seeds have just been spectacular nasty, and yeah, this seed was particularly awful. It held out on jump and fairy and down stab, and then of course fairy was required deep in Death Mountain. So you could just tell by your times, because you guys are probably generally finishers around the 90-minute mark to 75-minute mark, and having to do all of this nonsense just to be able to beat the game.
Yeah, certainly not the easiest Swiss round.
Oh, I thought my eyes were about to roll out of my head when I got jump, I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, that's helpful, but probably what you didn't want to see.
Yeah,
And
at
then
that
the
point, you
P-bag.
just want your...
The P-bag in Palace 5.
I really thought when I saw the hint that the medicine was in Death Mountain, I'm like, okay, I gotta try to avoid Death Mountain. I haven't seen anything that looks friendly in my brief peeks in, and I know one of the items I probably don't need. Turned out I needed it, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's certainly one way to look at it. I was thinking, kind of more like it's an item you could need, but there's also a possibility of the glove being there. But yeah, searching through the palaces is another option. But GG, Rikuplayer just now completed his game.
Yeah, Rikuplayer finishes with a time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 20 seconds. 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 6 seconds. I apologize.
Yeah, I believe we have him in chat right now. GG.
Oh, Rikuplayer entered the chat?
Yep.
Hey, GG, Rikuplayer finishes with a time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 20 seconds. So that was a heck of a seed, wasn't it?
Yeah. Definitely was.
Worst possible case scenario in every single direction. That Mito destination, that Rudo destination was definitely very rude. I mean, all the way down on the very southern end of Western Hyrule, just 1 or 2 tiles from the very bottom. And then the Mito location was all the way in the northwest, kind of like tucked away in that little cubby. Awful. Just awful overworld layout, awful item situation, just no jump, no fairy for the whole seed, no downstab.
Yeah, that definitely hurt a lot. I can kick myself for leaving 6.
Why can you make that jump without fairy?
Oh, I guess I was through the fairy thing, but yeah, I was kicking myself when I didn't realize, when I wasted all that time, I didn't realize I could have went down and actually found out more knowledge before leaving.
Oh yeah, I don't think there was another way to get to the barber though besides that fairy drop room. But some of the pros know that strat where they can swing their self around and land on a ceiling somehow. I've seen people do it on a bunch of different occasions, but I don't know the strat.
Yeah, I know I was kicking myself after I found out that fairy is required, and I left Death Mountain after getting the glove right away rather than looking for the boulder.
But you guys did about a lot of the very same things. I mean, it was crazy. You were in the lead for a big, long time. You had the boots first, you had the glove first. But I mean, AmazingAmpharos was like right there by your side. I mean, you got the glove, or you got the boots, and like 90 seconds later to 3 minutes later, he had the boots as well. He when he first walked into New Kasuto Town, he didn't have that magic container from the Western continent. So you ended up having the boots first, but that Maze Island was extremely trolly.
Yeah.
He ended up getting a magic container shortly thereafter. On one of those caves up there, he ended up getting one and hightailing it back to New Kasuto to get those boots. And then just the Eastern continent was just all over the place. It was like triple segmented. It was just a big mess.
And in the end, having Thunder costing me 81.
That's crazy. I was saying in the commentary when you guys first started, these enemies could be dropping 500-point P bags.
I'm not sure if any would in this seed because I didn't see any drop them at all. I kept on getting 50s and I just wasn't getting lucky with it then if they did.
No, there were definitely no 500 bags in the cycle. I saw the 50s rarely. There were keys, there were extra lives, there was one of the 2 jar colors, I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, there were both jar colors in it. But yeah, no 500 P bags, nothing other than a 50 P bag.
Honestly, the experience from enemies was just kind of awful all around. Like the red Dairas for 200 were nice, but that was about the only good experience enemy I found the whole season.
Yeah, that's true.
The only way that I got levels off the start was by going into the places where the 500 P bags would just be sitting around.
That's the strat early on. If no enemies are dropping 500-point P bags, you guys sailed at the 10-minute mark. I mean, that's spectacular. You guys have found both spell items. You see all, you guys got both spells, found all the item locations. Were able to determine that the last Boulder Block cave was the trophy cave and sailing east. However, AmazingAmpharos unfortunately missed the P-bag cave that had the magical container in it, which held him up a little bit on getting the breach out of the town of New Kasuto. But you guys sailing east at around the 10-minute mark is pretty spectacular. But that's kind of what the seed wanted you to do, and it kind of, in that aspect, it kind of kept you all in like one little area. The Western continent wasn't too bad. The town locations were pretty trolly, but besides that, I mean, it's just you guys sailed really early, and the red Daira did drop 200, and the orange Daira did drop 100 in the seed, which is not too bad. That's farmable in the early level type of situation. But getting over there to the east and getting those free 500 point P bags is always a good thing to do early on. Get some good early levels in.
Yeah, probably another big time loss in terms of experience. Like, I knew I just wasn't getting experience from enemies. Like, almost all the palace enemies that are easy to kill rolled down. Some of them that are hard to kill rolled down too. Getting 70 from a blue IK really just hurt my heart. But like, when I had 1900 in P5 and I was at a dead end and I was like, I am so close. I just want this level. But I don't think Magic 7, which is what it meant to me in the end game, was really worth it.
What was your Thundercast at the end then?
80.
Mine was cheaper than 80,
Oh, no,
wasn't
wait a
it?
minute. Yeah, Rikuplayer's was 80.
Yeah, mine was 81.
Yeah, I think mine got down to like 60 something. I don't know. Reflect was paired with Fire, which was only 8, and Shield was only 13, so the cost of Thunder was totally immaterial.
Yeah, for me, I could only cast Thunder and Shield. That's all I could cast and had to go.
Which made a huge difference. AmazingAmpharos, you had about a level above him, which made a huge difference. All of your spells happened to be much, much, much cheaper, which allowed you to take on Thunderbird with all of the goodies and get a good clean fight.
Was Fire not cheap until Magic 7? Because like, Shield only cost 16 in Magic 1, which was actually phenomenal. I must have cast Shield 100 times this season.
Yeah, the Eastern continent was awful. You guys were getting smacked around by those invisible millows. I was like, when you guys entered powers too early, I was kind of like, dude, they might be getting the cross, because you guys got the hint for the cross. And I was like thinking, at this point, I might even go get that cross. You know what I mean? Just because some of those encounters were just god awful, like that graveyard encounter where it's just like you get hit 6 times and 1 bar of health each time you get hit. It's awful, absolutely awful.
The thought of the value of the cross didn't completely escape me, but I found P2, I felt pretty late. I'd almost full cleared the east when I found P2. Well, I effectively had, because all I had left was P4, which was, on the other end of Death Road.
Yeah, that's right. They were right next to each other, weren't they?
Yeah, so when I was in P2, I'm like, I've mostly done with this trek. By the time I'm done with these 2 palaces, I'm going to be at like Life 6 or something. Life 6, cheap shield, that's like the cross, but you don't have to go pick it up.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, you guys have pretty much already gotten tortured by the Moas as much as you were going to get tortured by them by the time you cleared P2 anyway. And it looked like the item was glove blocked.
It was a possibility. When they found the boss room, they entered a tea room and went right. If they had gone left, there might have been an item room right there. So not confirmed glove block, but possibility 50-50, I think.
Yeah.
There was still that room that could have possibly taken you to a stairwell as well. But GG, guys, we kind of got to wrap it up because these they want to host the other race that's going on right now. So any final thoughts?
Never again.
Yeah, that was awful. How about you, AmazingAmpharos?
Not a whole lot. Good games, Riku. A seed to test our metal. Good way to get our feet wet in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone. I'm officially banning Lost from rolling seeds for this tournament.
Yeah, she's doing them every single time. I especially want her to do the one on my next seed. Whatchamacallit? So yeah, AmazingAmpharos, GG. Welcome to the 1-0s, and Rikuplayer, welcome to the 0-1s. I'm right there with you. So
Nightcrawler is too.
Nightcrawler. So you got 3 0-1s in chat right now. It's gonna be interesting. I wonder who else is gonna be here.
Maybe if we team up
Either
on the 1 and 0s.
Either Dig Shake or Unos is going to be in the 0-1.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Is there no possibility for a double win?
If they both put the knife to Dark Link at the very exact same frame, there's a possibility of possibly a rematch.
That would be crazy. I've seen it come to within 2 seconds, but like the same frame or near about, that'd be insane.
Well, if Race Spot calls it a tie in SRL, which I've actually seen before in a Zelda 2 randomizer race where 2 people done at the very exact same second. I don't know how they manage that. If they do a rematch or if they paper, scissors.
That one's going to be up to the Alan Heffley, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that one was in the rules.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got something figured out for it. Maybe they both move on as 1-0s. I don't know. Maybe they have a rematch or maybe they just, I mean, I don't know. That's all the Alan Heffley. But it would be really interesting if that happened.
Well,
right.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up here because they're just getting ready to start on the other channel. We're going to raid them here in a moment. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, this next race is going to be awesome. There's 4 great runners. I definitely, if you guys enjoyed this race, I would absolutely tune into the next race. We got good people on commentary. Nightcrawler again, I believe. And it's going to be an excellent.
So I want to say big GG again to our winner, AmazingAmpharos, as well as to Rikuplayer. Well done, both of you. Thank you very much for joining us on comms tonight, Nightcrawler and Trails, and Meme Troll. I know you're around here somewhere in chat. And a big thank you to our 2 trackers, Darkrid and Lost the Pirate. God knows, without trackers, we would never be able to do anything like this on Rando. So they are the real heroes of this broadcast. So with that, we will be calling it a night. It's not over, as we've said. There's a 4-way race coming up, starting literally any moment. And then at 12:15 a.m., so in about 3 hours, there'll be another match here on the main channel, which our commentators were talking about. It's Unos and Dig Shake. Should be a very good match. God knows I won't be awake for it, but for those who will be, enjoy. So with that, we will be rating ZSR2. Thank you very much, all. Have a good night.
Very sorry.
And we're gonna get his phone, out of you.
The important thing is that we're gonna make you better.
Okay, here's how to make butter. Pour 2/3 cup cold heavy cream.
Snickers satisfied.